She walked into the wrong bathroom. Now the Millionaire CEO won't let her leave. The city pulsed beneath the rain, lights trembling like nervous secrets across glass towers. It was one of those nights when everything felt on the verge of breaking: the sky, the storm, and Dorothy Evans's patience. She hurried through the marble lobby of Cold Industries, clutching the tray of leftover hors d'oeuvres from the gala she'd been working. The midnight shift had stretched longer than promised, and her feet ached from standing 12 hours in borrowed heels. Her only thought was find the restroom, breathe for 5 minutes, and get home before the last train. But fate has a cruel sense of direction. Welcome back, my beautiful family. Iwana says thank you for your love, your attention and support for growing of our community. I pray may God Almighty should bless you and reward you all and your endeavors. Amen. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Like and comment where you're watching from. Let's begin the amazing story of today. I believe we all are going to be blessed today after this wonderful story. The hallway she turned into was silent. No chatter. No footsteps. No other staff in sight. The lights dimmed to a soft golden glow, and the air smelled of cedar and expensive cologne. A sleek black door caught her eye. Executive washroom, private. Dorothy hesitated. Just 1 minute, she whispered to herself. No one will even know. She pushed the door open. The wrong room. The room wasn't like any bathroom she'd ever seen. Dark marble walls, gold fixtures, a chandelier hanging above a massive mirror. Every detail screamed power and isolation. She exhaled in relief and leaned over the sink, staring at her reflection, the tired eyes, the smudged lipstick, the faint tremble in her hands. Almost done, Dorothy. Just one more shift tomorrow. She turned on the faucet, but as the water ran, a reflection appeared behind her, tall, still, and watching. Her breath caught. Who are you? A voice asked, low, measured, and sharp enough to slice through the silence. Dorothy spun around. A man stood by the doorway, his suit immaculate, his gaze colder than the rain outside. He was young, maybe early 30s, with the kind of face that belonged in headlines or nightmares. She stammered, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. This is a restricted floor, he interrupted. No staff allowed here after hours. She swallowed. I just needed a minute. I didn't know. Names, he said. Start with your name. Dorothy. Dorothy Evans. He stepped closer, eyes narrowing as if testing her truth. And what is a banquet waitress doing inside my private suite? My suite. Her stomach dropped. This wasn't just an executive. This was Evie's Cold, the reclusive billionaire CEO everyone whispered about but few had ever seen. The first lock. I'll leave right now, Dorothy said quickly, setting down the tray. It was a mistake. He didn't move. Do you know how many people have tried to accidentally enter this room? His tone was quiet, but there was steel beneath it. Photographers, reporters, corporate spies. I'm not any of those things. She protested. I swear, I was just. Lying is a poor start, Miss Evans. He took another step, and something in his presence made the air feel heavier. Dorothy's pulse raced. She reached for the handle, only to find the door already locked. Why did you lock the door? She whispered. I didn't, Evie said calmly. Security protocol. Once the private suite seals, it can only be opened by me. Panic clawed at her chest. Please, just let me go. He studied her, eyes lingering not in lust but in calculation. You're shaking, he said. Are you afraid of me? Yes, she admitted. A faint, humorless smile touched his lips. Good. Fear means you understand boundaries. The past beneath the glass. He poured himself a drink from the minibar, every motion deliberate. Tell me, Miss Evans, do you believe in coincidence? What? Coincidence, he repeated. The idea that two paths cross by chance. That you, for instance, would end up here, in my space, tonight. Dorothy's voice trembled. I don't know what you're talking about. He turned, glass in hand, and for the first time she saw a flicker of something else in his eyes. Recognition? Pain. You remind me of someone, he murmured. Someone who walked away when I needed her most. Dorothy took a cautious step back. Mr. Cold, I don't remember giving you permission to leave, he said softly. Her breath hitched. There was no aggression in his tone, but the command behind it was absolute. I'm not your employee, she said. You can't just keep me here. Can't I? He pressed a button on the wall. The door clicked again, a second lock sliding into place. The quiet storm. Minutes passed in silence. Dorothy stood by the window, looking down at the glittering city below. Evie sat at his desk, typing something on a sleek black laptop. She watched his reflection in the glass, a man made of control. His movements precise, his expression unreadable. Finally, he spoke without looking at her. What were you doing at the event tonight? Serving food. That's all. No personal agenda. Unless survival counts as one. That made him pause. He glanced up. Survival. Dorothy bit her lip. My sister's sick. The hospital bills keep coming. I take whatever shifts I can. Evers's face softened, almost imperceptibly. And yet you still found time to wander into my private suite. I told you, it was an accident. There are no accidents in my building, Miss Evans. Only decisions. The memory. She stared at him, this man surrounded by wealth and silence, speaking like the world owed him obedience. What happened to you? She asked quietly. Excuse me. He looked up, startled. You talk like someone who stopped believing in people a long time ago. He set the glass down. The sharp sound echoed between them. You presume too much. Maybe, she said, voice trembling but steady. But people don't build walls like yours without a reason. For the first time, he didn't have an answer. Outside, thunder rolled, deep and distant. Evie's finally stood, moving closer until he was inches from her. His cologne mixed with the scent of rain. Let's make a deal, Miss Evans, he said quietly. If I believe you, I'll let you leave tonight. But if I find even a hint of a lie. He let the sentence hang, unfinished, more terrifying that way. Dorothy's pulse quickened. What do you want to know? Everything. His eyes bore into hers, sharp and searching. Who sent you here? Why did you come to my floor? And why? His voice lowered. Do you look exactly like her? Like who? He turned away before answering. No one you should have to remember. The hook's final turn. Security cameras blinked red above them, recording every second. Dorothy realized then, this wasn't just a misunderstanding. She was caught in something deeper. A web spun long before she stepped through that wrong door. And the man before her, Evie's Cold, wasn't deciding whether to let her go. He was deciding whether to keep her close or destroy her completely. As the rain outside blurred the skyline into streaks of gold and grey, Dorothy whispered a silent promise to herself. If I make it out of here, I'll never be the same. The elevator doors sealed behind them with a quiet sigh. Dorothy's heart pounded as the numbers climbed higher, 50, 60, 70, until the display stopped at the very top. The penthouse. Evie's Cold's world. She followed him in silence, barefoot now, her heels dangling from her fingers. The air up here felt different, cooler, thinner, touched with the faint hum of hidden machines. The entire floor opened into a glass-walled space overlooking the city. Neon lights shimmered on black marble floors. The storm had rolled east, leaving streaks of silver clouds like smoke. Evie's gestured toward the sofa. Sit. Dorothy hesitated, then sat on the edge of the couch. He poured another drink, water this time, and set it before her. You're trembling, he said. I'm tired, she answered. He studied her face again, that same quiet scrutiny that made her want to look away. Tell me about your family. My sister. Just her and me. She's 19. Sick. The doctors say she'll be fine if I keep up the treatments. And your parents? My mother left. My father's gone. A shadow crossed his expression. Gone. She nodded. Heart attack. 2 years ago. He exhaled slowly, something unreadable flickering in his eyes. You shouldn't have to carry that alone. Dorothy blinked. I don't think you're in any position to pity me. That almost made him smile. Fair enough. Hours passed without her realizing. The night thinned, the rain faded. Evie's moved around the penthouse like a ghost who owned the air itself. Efficient. Silent. Precise. He spoke little, but his questions came in fragments. Pieces of a puzzle she couldn't yet see. Who hired you for tonight's event? Do you read the news? Have you ever heard of Project Helios? She answered what she could. The rest she met with silence. At one point, he stopped at the window and said quietly, "Do you know what power really is, Miss Evans? It's not money. It's not control. It's knowledge. The moment you know something about someone that they don't want the world to know, you own them." "And do you think you own me?" she asked. He turned to her. "I'm still deciding." The door that never opens. Dorothy tried the door that led to the hallway more than once. It never moved. Security glass. Fingerprint lock. A camera perched above it like a black eye. When she confronted him, Evie's only said, "For your safety." "My safety from what?" "From the world you just stepped into." It wasn't an answer, and yet the way he said it made her pause. Because in that moment, she realized he wasn't lying. The dinner. Sometime after dawn, he ordered breakfast for both of them. Fresh fruit, croissants, strong coffee. She ate cautiously. He barely touched his food. "I have meetings," he said. "You'll stay here. My assistant will bring you whatever you need." "Why?" "Because I want to understand you before I decide what to do with you." She met his gaze. "I'm not a project." His tone didn't change. "Everything is a project, Miss Evans. Some just matter more than others." Lana's call. When he left, she searched for her phone. It had been taken. But she found a landline on the desk, one of those old secure phones with a cord. Out of desperation, she dialed Lana's number by memory. It rang once before a voice said, "This line is monitored, Miss Evans." She froze. "Who is this?" "Security. Please hang up." The line went dead. Dorothy pressed her forehead to the receiver. Her chest ached with panic and exhaustion. For the first time in years, she felt small. The second night. Evie's returned late that evening, his tie undone, his jaw tense. The rain had returned, tapping the windows like fingers. "You've been crying," he said quietly. "I want to go home." "You can't. Not yet." "Why?" "So you can keep interrogating me." He poured 2 glasses of wine, handed her one. "You think I'm the villain in this, don't you?" "Aren't you?" He didn't answer right away. Then, almost to himself, he said, "Once upon a time, I tried to save someone. She died because I trusted her." Dorothy frowned. "What does that have to do with me?" He looked at her, and for a heartbeat she thought she saw something raw in him. Grief. Guilt. Something unguarded. "She looked just like you." Later that night, unable to sleep, Dorothy wandered through the suite. She found a narrow hallway she hadn't noticed before, lined with modern art, cold metallic sculptures, abstract canvases. At the end hung a single portrait, a woman smiling softly, standing in sunlight, eyes full of warmth. Dorothy's breath caught. The resemblance was undeniable. The woman in the painting could have been her older sister. Footsteps echoed behind her. She was real, Evie said quietly. Her name was Mara. Dorothy turned. "Your wife." "My mistake." He came to stand beside her, hands in his pockets. "Mara believed she could change me. Instead, she died because she got too close." Dorothy swallowed. "What happened?" He didn't answer, only whispered, "I promised I'd never let another stranger walk into my life again." Then he looked at her, eyes steady. "And yet, here you are." The cracks. The following days blurred together, mornings filled with silence, nights with conversation that slipped from guarded to intimate. He asked about her dreams. She told him about the cafe she wanted to open someday, the smell of bread in the morning. He listened, genuinely, his usual hardness softening just enough to make her forget where she was. In return, he shared fragments of himself, his mother's illness, the empire he'd built at 25, the endless noise of people who wanted something from him. "Do you ever just stop?" She asked once. He smiled faintly. Stopping is how you lose. The first connection. One evening, they watched the skyline together. The city glowed, alive with movement. Evie said, "You're different when you stop being afraid." Dorothy answered, "You're different when you stop pretending you're not human." For a long moment, neither looked away. The silence between them hummed with something unspoken. Then Evie said, "Don't look at me like that." "Like what?" "Like you might forgive me." The message. That night, while he took a call in another room, Dorothy slipped into his study. His laptop sat open on the desk, screen glowing faintly. She moved fast, sent an email to Lana from a hidden account, just a few words. "I'm safe. Top floor. Don't come here." She hit send and closed it just as he walked back in. Evers's eyes flicked to the laptop, then to her. "What did you do?" "Nothing." He stepped closer. "You're a terrible liar." Her heart raced. "I just looked at the time." He stared at her for a long second. Then, unexpectedly, said, "If you plan to run, don't. I won't chase you." "Why not?" "Because you'll come back." She didn't know whether to feel insulted or terrified. The question. That night she couldn't sleep. His words echoed through her head. "You'll come back." In the darkness, she whispered to herself, "No, I won't." But part of her wasn't sure anymore, because somewhere between fear and fascination, something had changed. He wasn't just the man who trapped her. He was the man who saw her, really. Saw her, and it scared her more than anything else. The rising fire. The next morning, he came to her with a proposal. "I've investigated your father's case," he said. "The company he worked for went bankrupt under my acquisition 3 years ago. I'm sorry." Dorothy's blood ran cold. You took over that company." "Yes." "My father killed himself after losing everything." Evers's expression didn't change, but his eyes did, sharper, guiltier. He was part of a merger. He knew the risks. She stood, voice shaking. "You ruined his life. You ruined mine." He reached out as if to stop her, but she stepped back. "You want to know why I walked into your bathroom?" She said bitterly, "Because I was tired. Because I just wanted to breathe. I didn't realize I was walking into the devil's penthouse." For the first time, Evie didn't try to defend himself. His voice cracked when he said, "If I could undo it, I would." "But you can't." "No," he admitted. "But I can try to make it right." He took a deep breath, straightened his cuffs, and said quietly, "Stay one more night. After that, if you still want to leave, I'll let you go." Dorothy looked at him, at the man who had taken everything from her and, yet, somehow, was offering her the first real apology she'd ever heard from someone with power. "One more night," she said. "Then I'm gone." He nodded. "One more night." Thanks for taking your precious time watching. Part TWO is going to be out soon. Please subscribe, like and comment where you are watching from.